and welcome to another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and crochet and books and TV and movies and other life and chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and grab your yarn, your hook, your needles, your embroidery, or whatever project you want, and let's have a really nice crafty chatty time. So yes, it has been another week and I am enjoying some cold tea. This is from Tea Source. It is called English Rose, and it is black tea with rose petals and some natural flavoring. And I added some milk and some vanilla syrup, and it's lovely. When this is I ordered this in my last tea order, and it's one I hadn't tried yet. I wanted to try something new, and the first time I tried it, I opened it up and woo, it was so perfumey smelling. It smelled like a big giant bouquet, and I was a little nervous. But when it's steeped and when you're actually drinking it, the flower, you can still smell the flower, but not as strongly, and you can have that hint of rose flavor, but it's not overpowering. It still very much tastes like tea, and I really like it. I have tried something else new with tea this week, and I think I'll talk about that later after the crafting. But yeah, I'm not going to show you all of my projects today because my big long crochet scarf and my big triangle mystery cow project both are so close to being done, and they have taken a while. I've shown them in so many episodes, so they're both like very, very, very near the end. In fact, I need to decide. It's at the point where I'm either going to bind off early for the triangle shawl, or take my chances and really play yarn chicken and go for the one last repeat. So I've been putting off making that final decision, and I've been letting it rest for a few days. And it's kinda about the same situation with the scarf. It's so close to being done. Just got a few more rounds. It's getting very close to the end of the thread. I might need to order some more from Joann's to finish it, but I'm just letting it rest because I don't want to find out the results of the yarn chicken yet. So that's where we are with those. I will show them to you when they're done. I feel like they've been going on and on in these videos for a while. People, if you're new, I'm sorry you don't know what they look like, but if you come back again, I'm sure you'll get to see them when they're done. But if you have been watching, you're probably really sick of them. Anyway, but I am going to show you the progress on my Japanese garden shawl. This is the left side, and the right side is done. It's not much further on the left side. Not very much knitting progress, but the real progress on this has been weaving in the ends. I've been weaving in all these ends, a few every day, and not letting myself knit hardly at all on this until the ends are taken care of. So today I did do a couple rows because over the week I'd done so well on the ends. I was pretty happy with that. So I'm like, okay, I get to reward myself by actually knitting a few rows. And I finished the stripe. Here I've cut the yarn. I'm about to start this color again for stripe number 3. And I'm making more ends. See, I weave in ends, make more ends. It's just a cycle. Yeah. But here we are. I'm really glad I made myself come to terms with those ends before leaving them all for when the knitting was done, because that would have just been really not fun. And everything else about the project has been delightful. So when I finish, I want to revel in the delight of it, not be grumpy because now I have a big chore of 100 ends. 100 is an exaggeration, but this is the kind of project that really does have a lot of ends. So I also started a brand new project because these projects that I've been working on are all in the home stretch or like just stitches away from being done. And it's fall, it's getting colder. I want to work on socks. So I cast on socks on my 9-inch circular. Right now, that is my favorite way of doing socks. I also really like DPNs a lot. I kind of go back and forth between which one is my favorite. But yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a texture, kind of a little texture here and a little bit of a varied rib to give some interest. This is a pattern, a free pattern that I downloaded a long time ago from Ravelry, and I've already made the pattern actually that I downloaded is for fingerless mitts. But it is super easy to take a fingerless mitt pattern and just don't do a thumb. And then you make a heel instead of a thumb. And it becomes a sock. Easy as pie. So converting fingerless mitts to socks, or socks and like, oh, that'd be really lovely on a mitt. Making a sock pattern, converting it to a fingerless mitt pattern. Instead of a heel, you do a thumb. Yeah, it goes both ways, and it's easy to convert those patterns from one to the other. So I'm converting this from mitts to socks. The name of the pattern is, I'm going to read it from my paper because it's been translated to English, but it was not originally done in English, and the name is not an English name. It is the Glazenda Drachenschuppe Handstulpen. I'm guessing that is German or Scandinavian of some kind, but I'm not sure exactly what language that is. But it translates into shiny dragon scale mitts, but I'm doing it in a sock version. So my shiny dragon scale socks in these beautiful fall colors. These are just gorgeous fall colors, and I love everything about the fall, and I love the fall colors. So I'm reveling in all the fall goodness right now. And another fall feeling that I've been craving is chai. I think it's the spices in chai that kind of make me associate it with fall flavor. Although it's delicious any time of year. I mean, yeah, it's delicious year round, but I was just craving those spices and thinking that is a perfect fall drink. And I wanted chocolate chai. Because a while ago I had tried a sample of some s'mores chai from David's Tea. A friend sent me a sample and it was really good. And I'm like, yes. You know, I remembered that and I've been thinking about it and I'm like, I want chocolate chai. Chocolate chai is my fall drink. That's it. I want it. I'm craving it. So I did order some loose leaf chocolate chai blend from Rishi, and it arrived about a week and a half ago, and I've made it twice now. I have a little infuser, and I did it in a saucepan, and I'm not steeping the chai in water. I'm steeping it just in hot milk. So I heat the milk up in the saucepan, and then I put the infuser with the tea in the hot milk and let it steep in the saucepan in the milk for 5 minutes. And then I take the infuser out, and then I bought a milk chocolate bar, Lindt. I like the Lindt Swiss chocolate bars. They're really nice chocolate. So I bought a Lindt, Lindt, Lindt milk chocolate bar, and I broke off a few chunks and put it in the hot, freshly steeped chai and stirred it. Let the milk chocolate melt in the hot tea in the saucepan, and then when everything was blended and melted together, I put it in a mug, and it was delicious. Really, really, really delicious. And in that chocolate chai blend from Rishi, it's black tea and cinnamon and cloves and cocoa nibs and coconut and some other things too, but those are the main things. And oh, it's spicy, it's nutty, it's chocolatey. It's rich and creamy because there's no water in it. It was just steeped in the straight milk, and it's so good. That is my super special fall beverage, and I love it. Chocolate chai, highly recommend. So, yeah, that's been the fall goodness. And let's talk about reading. I finished another book this week. It was a short book. It was one I had had from the library, and it's a scary book. I think I'd call it psychological horror. I think that fits. Yeah, I would call it psychological horror. It is called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Yep, by Ian. Oh, I can't remember his last name off the top of my head. It'll be here on the screen. Really, really good. It's the kind of book that really, I think the less you know about it before you read it, the better. Because it is kind of mysterious and it's kind of just twisty and weird, and it's a great ride, but I think it's so much better if you don't know too much and just experience it. I am confident, though, I can tell you this much, it's about a couple on a road trip, and they are driving out to his parents' farm so that she can meet his parents. And they're, on the road trip talking in the car, and she's also thinking, she has a lot of doubts about the relationship, and she's just thinking about, oh, I really think I'm gonna break up with him. I think it's time. I think I've decided I'm definitely, I think, going to break up with him. So she's, she's waffling a little bit, thinking about that decision, and then things get a little bit weird on the road trip. And it's a lot of weirdness and creepiness, and yeah. And there is some yeah. And I read some reviews on Goodreads after I read it, because I wanted to talk about it after I read it, and I'm like, wow, whoa, what just happened? I mean, I got the basics of it, but I really wanted to, have a little interaction, see what some other people were thinking about it and what their experience of it was. So I was reading some reviews, and I did listen to it because I got the audiobook from the library, not the ebook. So I did listen to it, which was great. It's a good audio. The narrator is good. And then I did read a couple people say that this works better in the audio version. Especially one of the things that can be a little bit confusing when you have the audio, that transition is more, you get it. It's more clear and it's easier to understand, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. So if this sounds like a fun ride to you and you're interested to see what happens and you think you might want to read it, I recommend reading it in the audio format, because that seems to work better for more people. This definitely is, a Marmite book as far as you either really like it or you don't, and it works for you or it doesn't, or, you know, so it's definitely, it's not for everyone. But if it sounds like something that might be up your alley, try and get it on audio, because it tends to work better as an audio. Also, I'm excited now because I finished the book and I'm still thinking about it, and now I can watch the Netflix movie adaptation, because that came out earlier in September. And that was why I wanted to put it on hold from the library, because I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. I've been curious about that book, and I didn't know they were making it a movie, but I can't watch the adaptation until I read the book first. So now I can watch the Netflix movie adaptation of I'm Thinking of Ending Things. So yeah, I might even watch it tonight. Definitely this week, but maybe even tonight. Yeah. So that's been reading, and I'm still really liking StoryGraph, and I'm still using both StoryGraph and Goodreads. But for now, I'm fine with it. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get a little tired of doing both, so I will kind of have to choose, you know, which one I really want to commit to eventually. But for now, I'm okay with sticking with both. And Lovecraft Country. Whoa, this episode was really spooky, and all the story arc threads were coming together, so there was lots of progress on that. I think they're getting ready for, you know, the last 2 episodes. So they're, you know, trying to make sure they prepare things for a really good ending. Yeah, it was a good episode, but I think episode 7 was still my favorite so far. And I hope there's a season 2. Don't know if there will be, but I hope that there will be a season 2. And yep. So that's Lovecraft Country, and yeah, I think so. I think we've covered all the things that I feel chatty about, and I hope that you are doing well. I hope that wherever you are and whatever your season you're in, if you're in the fall, I hope you're enjoying the fall. If you are going into spring, then I hope that you're enjoying spring and getting ready for summer. And I hope that you and all your loved ones are well and safe. And I hope that all of your creative projects are going well, and that you're enjoying working on them. And see you next time. Bye-bye.